welcome you in the last session of the day. What appears to be a very long day, but I think a very interesting and productive day. The topic of this session, of the public event, is the role of urban social movements against and beyond the crisis. We are very happy and honored to have here with us as speakers of this session, Professors Margit Meyer, Boaventura de Sousa Santos, and of course David Harvey. In this session, we hope to explore the dynamics and the role that urban social movements have or could have in the formulation of alternative strategies against the hegemony of neoliberal urbanism as it is being involved in the context of the current crisis in Southern Europe and beyond. We have been witnessing a substantial mobilization and formation of social movements contesting urban neoliberalization in its various facets, fighting for foreclosures, resisting the entrepreneurial city, supporting vulnerable groups, defending the publicly real, demanding democracy. What the movement and the various subjectivities have succeeded, apart from the formulation of new political action, is to inform and politicize the debate about the crisis by exposing existing power relations and revealing the contradictions and inequalities of the new form of neoliberalism, the zombie neoliberalism, as Professor Meyer has put it, thus directly challenging the crisis regime and its associated policies and dominant discourse. At the same time, however, we cannot help to wonder, unfairly perhaps, whether social movements can have a transformative potential, that is, to go beyond resistance and help push forward social change. The potential for social change vis-à-vis the danger of the integration of social movements into neoliberal politics, thus substituting the retrieving welfare state, is at the center of the debate, especially given the flexibility and power of the neoliberal project, with the immense structural changes that exercise of coercion and extreme policing. The conditionalities and prerequisites for this transformative potential are among the questions that this workshop would like to address, and we hope that we can approach them in some form in the discussion that will follow later on. I'm Maria, and this is Elena. We're members of the Encounter group, and Elena will give a short presentation for our speakers, an introduction for our speakers.
So, good evening from me too. I will present briefly Margit Meyer, Boaventura de Sousa Santos, and David Harvey, who will share with us their experiences and ideas. First of all, Margit Meyer is a professor in the Free University of Berlin in the Department of Political Science. Her work is focused on critical urban theory and contemporary urban activism in Western cities of the global North, in regions of the ongoing and uneven development of capitalist accumulation. She examines urban protest on a comparative way in cities in North America as well as in Western Europe, like the squatting movement in Berlin, in Germany and in general, through the 70s and until the 90s. She questions the notion of neoliberalism by looking into the responses of civil society. So a huge question is how can we define neoliberalism and in what context? And in this sense, she stresses that neoliberalism is more than a set of ideologies, of economic and social policies, more than a question who is the main actor, the state or the private sector. She has also redefined the right to the city notion through a radical perspective, one that puts this right within wider socio-political transformations. Secondly, Professor Boaventura de Sousa Santos is a professor of sociology at the University of Coimbra in Portugal. His work involves issues on globalization, sociology of law and state, democracy and human rights. He engages with pressing social and political questions, such as, can we reconstruct the notion of legality based on multiple scales, like locality, nationality and globality? Also, his research focuses on states, economies and societies in the semi-periphery. His understanding on this issue does not derive from the center, but it seems to derive from the margins and the periphery. Furthermore, he asks also what is neoliberalism and how does it connect with globalization and capitalism. Last but not least, we have with us Professor David Harvey. David Harvey is a distinguished professor of anthropology and geography at the City University of New York. His work has contributed greatly to broad social and political debate, to the critical geography. He has restored social class and Marxist approach as serious methodological tools in the critique of the global capitalism. He has also conceptualized again Lefebvre's right to the city. His last work on rebel cities places the city at the heart of anti-capitalist resistance. From the Paris Commune to the Occupy Wall Street movement and the London riots, Harvey looks into how cities can be reorganized